It is a hell of a challenge. It challenges everything in the European Union. It challenges everything in America. Russians don't give a damn because they've got their own stuff. You know, they've got their own product. But Britain has got the square root of sweet Fanny Adams. Nothing. They don't produce nothing. They don't manufacture anything.
Britain isn't. Really, it's not run by the English anymore. Anyway, I mean, what is England now?
Well, you know, exactly there. But that is not part of, you know, I have a tendency to try and mind my own business. The man who minds his own business is rarely killed, which is one of the sayings of one of the mafia people that I defending. As we say, meno sai, meglio è. The less you know, the better it is.
Probably, you're right. Yeah. Probably.
Yeah.
Like I know who it was that
speak about.
I know who it was that rang Sienna Miller's GP. Hey Lloyd, over there in Miami. You know, exactly. But I'm not going to keep quiet about it. But
why should you? I mean, I know you that you wouldn't do something like that there. And as I say, I repeat, I know Sienna and I know, you know, Jude Law as well. I mean, like, they had so much bloody aggravation between who knows who gave what information and then pass it off onto poor old Christine, who's not in a position to. But you put down with anyone that I'm representing you, and then we'll see how many people will dare touch you. You know, because they know that I've got the means, the abilities and the facilities to be able to investigate things properly and not to take any crap from anybody there. And we can do something about it there, which is what, you know, you and I have discussed, you know, previously.
Yes. Thank you for that. Yeah, I'm not going to say, also blamed, you know, for Fiona Wainwright, something similar with her. And this was to cover up phone hacking. And again, the Sun, it's to cover up phone hacking. They phone hacked poor Sienna Miller. They found out about this pregnancy. Rebecca Brooks said, "Oh, don't worry, we're not gonna write about that." Leaked it to newspaper in America. Carried on phone hacking, or I believe using either John Boyle or this Lloyd character, and found out that she was going to have a termination. And this is when she rang me.
I mean, these are the history for that, honey. They have a history for that. Do you know which newspaper?
They were doing it constantly.
Remember when we had the Camilla Gate, where those telephone calls with Prince Charles, I'd like to be your tampon and all that. That, you know which newspaper did that? It was a Murdoch newspaper. An Australian paper
and Mirror Group, though. Mirror Group, the Sunday Mirror, because I know I put John Boyle there. He was the one that brought in phone hacking at the same time as he went to the News of the World. Exactly the same time he went to the Sunday Mirror, and Tina Weaver was doing it ad infinitum. They were all doing it, and they just plain denied it. They made a fool of Prince Harry. An absolute fool. I'm hoping one of their journalists will step forward. I know some of them have, but it's just been like, you know, just people that nobody listens to. But hopefully, you know, one of their editors will step forward, maybe Matt Bell. But then Matt Bell is running the Sun on Sunday. I mean, I suppose everyone covers their own asses, you know. But it's a shame that they made Harry look like a fool, and seems like a nice boy.
Well, I mean, I've only met William before. I've not met, you know, Prince Harry. Then I've met Prince Charles, and I have been in the presence of what was the late Her Majesty the Queen at the Dorchester Hotel when there was a dinner for the Asians and everything. There she was there. But you know, again, these are not my royal family. My royal family is here in Italy, and the heir to the throne, Prince Emanuele Filiberto, is the godfather of my son. You know, he, you know, confirmed him. So, you know, and my son has a royal title. You know, my consort has a royal title. I refused one because when they said we want to make you, a knight, I said, but I haven't got a horse. You know, we only got a donkey called Peppino. He said, no, we want to make you a knight. I said, yeah, but I don't have a horse. I got no horse. I can't ride a horse. So I was
Oh dear.
born the son of a peasant, and I'm going to die the son of a peasant. I don't want no royal titles. But there was an interesting story for for your listeners. When my consort received her dameship in Switzerland there and bestowed upon her there. Afterwards, we went, back up to the room to the hotel. I said, "Well, darling, I need to leave you here now and kiss you goodnight." She said, "What are you talking about?" I said, "Well, you're now royalty. You're now, important." That she said, "Well, what are you talking about? Where are you going?" I said, "Well, I have to take another room, of course. There, I can't." She said, "Well, why?" I said, "Well, I don't see either a blue or a red scarf on the door." She said, what are you talking about?" Well, the usage, of course, in the Italian aristocracy is that you don't sleep together. Each have their own rooms, and if the woman is available to her husband, she puts a blue scarf on there. If she's not available and doesn't want to be disturbed, she puts a red one. My wife said, "Stop that shit, come inside." And that's what I am, the son of a peasant, and I will die the son of a peasant.
Whereabouts in Italy are you? Where did Brian and I have to come for our holiday?
Well, I'm at the moment in southern Italy, in Molise, one of the safest regions in Italy. Very, very, very little crime here because we've got things under control-ish properly. Very, very. I think we've only had a couple of murders, in a year. There, it is still an undeveloped region, and my friends are the people who are in regional government and local government as well. So I have a small political party, Partito Nazionale Italiano. People can look at that if they read Italian, on the web. There you can see my policies. My policies are clear and to the point, and they mirror some of the policies of Iraq and Libya. Totally free education, totally free healthcare, and for pensioners to be treated not just with checkbook generosity, but with dignity. I tried to give my mother €100 the other day so that she could always have something, that she wouldn't bloody take it because she wants her own money. Don't want my money. She wants her own money. It's a question of dignity. And when you make a person feel dignified, a pensioner in any country, UK, France, that is the time that they will respect your government. And the individual has to be proud of their passport, has to guard it with their life and fight for it. Sadly, in most of the European countries, including Italy, remember St. Paul. Why was he not executed in the Middle East? Because he was a Roman citizen. And a Roman citizen meant he had an appeal to Caesar. It meant something. The Romans would give citizenship out, not willy-nilly, but to the people that they wanted to integrate within their society and to be unified. It meant something. It was important to have. And that's what I want to get back in this country here in Italy. I want to say, our passport, hold it up in your hands high and be proud of it and kiss it and keep it near your heart, because that makes you a unified country. There is nothing worse than having a non-unified country. In the Elizabethan times, non-unification and confusion, body politics. You have to be very, very careful of that. Can't be a body without a head. Everything has to work correctly. You have to be proud of who the hell you are, proud of your ancestors. Doesn't matter whether you won the war, whether you lost the war. You have to be proud of your country. And sadly, that is not the case in the United Kingdom. I can say that if you won today, Chrissy and Brian, $100 million, you won it today, you've got the check, you've got money in your bank. And don't tell me that the first thing you would do is not F off from the United Kingdom and go somewhere sunny.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, I would like Italy. I can't speak Italian, but yeah, I mean, it's
Remember,
nice.
Chrissy, how to learn a language? Either get a boyfriend that only speaks Italian or come to prison in Caserta, where Sophie Loren went for a year. Either or, you'll learn Italian.
Did she? What did she go there
One
for?
might be more enjoyable than the other. So I'm
Oh, I
sorry for
don't
the
know
boyfriend.
if it was a man's person.
Yeah,
What did she get to prison for, Sophie Loren?
Sophie Loren went to prison. She came back for bigamy because she married Carlo Ponti without him being properly divorced, and she was complicit in that. And as a consequence, they also investigated her for some small, minor tax thing. And to set an example, they stuck her in Nick for 9 months, and she was there, for a period of time. Sophie Loren.
Wow, had no idea.
So Cassette.
no, I didn't know about that.
Cassette.
Yeah, incredible. I didn't know about that. Amazing.
Well,
but by the way, Giovanni, I
it's-
left England in the 1980s when it started. Towards the end of the 1980s, mid 90s, when it started to get really, really bad. That's when I left England. I've not been back to England for a long, long time.
I
for all the
salute
reasons
you. I mean,
said.
you're in Portugal, aren't you, basically?
Oh, more or less, yeah. More or less, yeah. It's
Yeah.
very different to Portugal. It's similar but the same, if that makes any sense, Yeah.
Yes,
It's
but
more,
Brian
it's
went to
more
Ukraine.
continental. Yeah.
You had to, Gio, Paul Bryan had to flee Ukraine when it all kicked off, didn't you?
Yeah, that was really bad. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it to anybody, to put it bluntly.
Well, there is a situation at the moment.
Sorry?
There is a situation at the moment. I said there is a situation at the moment which I'm unfortunately not allowed to talk about, but there is a situation ongoing at the moment which I'm privy to, which may bring a resolution to certain events, certain special operations, and certain situations which may restore some calm in the region. It's ongoing, and it will be ongoing for a few more days, but that is something.
Hello?
Of this this coming week there, which I'm also involved in, obviously, because I know the players, there. So it is, what it is there. So that is, that is the position there. It is an unfortunate situation, but I think that the West and the Americans have got it wrong. I think Russia's got it wrong, and I think Ukraine has got it wrong. They've all got it wrong there. At the end of the day, you need tranquility and there is a way of getting it, and that is something that is being dealt with as we speak, with my participation as well, my input as well, which I think will be announced on Wednesday.
Isn't it all due to what's going on in Ukraine? Haven't they got virus factories and child trafficking? I know there's girls being trafficked from Ukraine. I mean, it's quite dark out there, isn't it? Is it, Brian, dark out there? I mean,
well, the thing is you're reading it in the newspapers, Chris, and you know yourself that the newspapers are not the most accurate form of news you could possibly get. I mean, remember Saddam Hussein, babies in incubators and stuff like that. You really can't take anything that is written with any sort of credence.
Of course,
so
and our BBC are complete monsters and liars.
Yeah.
Remember,
that's the situation.
Sorry?
The first casualty of war is truth. You simply do not know. It's the first thing. It's the first casualty there, and basically, there we have it there. So, is there any other question that you need of me? We've done.
No, yes,
no,
we are
going
to. And thank you, Gio, for coming on as a guest. Thank you, Brian. And we'll end the show here. I'm going to say goodbye to the listeners, and thank you for guesting, Gio. Thank you for co-hosting, and yeah, see you soon. Hopefully, speak to you and catch up with you on WhatsApp, Gio.
Okay, honey.